Okay, now we're ready. Good evening, everyone. Lindsay and Renee here. We are going to do a little bit of training tonight. We have an awesome guest speaker. We came back from a meeting with Sonia, spent a couple of days with her, and we came back really on fire. We each had calls with our downline that wanted to hear about it. And Kyle is one that really took it and ran with it, and he's going to tell you guys about that in a little bit.
Like Lindsay said, we got back from Sonia's a couple weeks ago and immediately just got on the phone and started calling people on our team and doing some one-on-one trainings and some one-on-3 or one-on-4. We're getting 4 or 5 people together at a time, doing some Zoom trainings, going over all of this great information. And I know that my team has just gotten so excited about it. They're taking this information and running with it, and we're seeing the results from it already. It's just been a couple weeks, and we're already seeing
amazing
lots of people joining our team, joining even as customers, and we're going to kind of go over a lot of the things that we learned. There's actually 3 topics that we're going to cover tonight, and then Kyle is going to share what he's done with it since he started changing some of his words.
So if you hear us get nervous at all, I just want to say real quick, we actually have an audience. So we've got us, and then on the other side we have Hannah, Wanda, Lee, and Tina. Now these gals are usually, they're usually on y'all's end actually viewing. And then we have Angela who's still here, but she's about to walk out the door. She's on her phone. So I am going to do my share screen. We have Renee has prepared a PowerPoint for us for tonight. All right.
Well, tonight we are doing some power training, and I just titled it The Roadmap to Success. Again, we're going to cover 3 topics, and I think you all are going to love it, and you're going to be excited to hit the ground running. So a couple weeks ago, we went to Sonia Dudley's house and spent the weekend, and the whole purpose behind it was just to kind of talk to her, tell her kind of, where we started 2 years ago and the journey that we've had up until recently in the last 2 years. And we knew that there was lots of changes that's happened in our own businesses. And so we were looking to just tell her about some ideas that we had, get her advice on it. And these are some of the things that we come back with.
Okay, so, 3 main ideas that we got from Sonia are dream building, the 3 options, such as customer, wholesale member, and ambassador, and the power of words. With that dream building, when we do presentations, we are going to really focus on building you guys up to where you can physically see yourself at Maui, driving a Lexus, whatever it may be. Then there's, because facts tell, stories sell.
And what I always tell people to think about when you were in school, when you were in elementary school, you would learn what your senses were. My little girls, I asked them the other day, what are your 5 senses? And they said, seeing, smelling, hearing, touching, and tasting. Well, if you can tell stories and get people to start dream building by using those 5 senses, it absolutely gets them so excited that they can't help but want to join the business opportunity because they started dreaming again. So, for example, in my Hawaii group the other day, I had everyone on the call to close their eyes and imagine being in Hawaii because they're in the Hawaii group trying to work toward the Maui trip that's going to be this September. And so,
okay, so stop right here. Okay, so you guys, everybody, close your eyes. Close your eyes right now.
Okay, so everybody close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you're laying on a, what are those things called? One of those lounge chairs on the beach.
You're laying lounge chair, guys.
You're laying on the beach on the lounge chair, and you're hearing the waves crash against the beach. It's so hot that you just have sweat beating up all over you, and you're just burning up. And it's so hot that all you can think about is cooling off. So you get up and you start running toward the water, and you're running because that sand under your feet is so hot it burns your feet. It's so hot. When you get to the water is warm like bath water, and you can see everywhere around you. It's so clear. When you turn around, you see your friends sitting on the lounge chairs laughing. You can hear them laughing and joking, and they're waving at you, and you wave back at them. It feels so good. And then you see that they're drinking a fruity drink from a pineapple. And you know what? That pineapple sounds really good. So you go up there to get a bite, and it tastes so sweet. It's like candy. It's the most amazing thing ever. Okay, we're going to open your eyes now. It was a short version, but could you see the waves crashing? Could you smell the pineapple? Could you hear the waves crashing against the beach? Could you feel that hot sand under your feet? Could you taste that sweet pineapple or that fruity drink? That's what we want to do, is when we use those five senses, we're getting people to imagine being there, to imagine what it's like for that to be in reality right now.
And not to take it that far, you can use that when you're talking to somebody and you're talking to somebody about the fact that they could earn money so that they could cover their bills. And you can maybe describe, imagine your bank account so overdrawn that things are going back to places and you're worried, you're anxious because you don't know how you're going to cover the next things coming in. Your family needs groceries. They're hungry. They need bread, eggs, milk. You can't afford the simple things. So what if you could imagine earning enough to cover those overdrafts, earning enough so that you could pay for that bread, those eggs, the milk, so you could see your kids satisfied because they're not hungry. Use it in those same terms. It doesn't have to be big like that.
Right. I remember, I don't know about you guys, but I remember going to the grocery store and hoping that my debit card would work for the groceries that I got. If you're talking to someone that that is struggling to make ends meet, you can use that as an example as well. But dream building is a big thing. If you can find out and uncover what people's dreams are, because so many people have shrunk their dreams to fit the size of their paychecks. I know that my husband and I did. So if you can uncover what their dreams are and help them dream again, that is going to be huge in your conversations, whether it be across the table from someone for coffee, whether it be at a launch party, or even a big Plexus event.
Okay, so the second thing that Sonia talked about is that when we offer somebody to buy products as retail preferred or become an ambassador, what's the odds that they're going to become a customer over an ambassador? 2 out of 1, right? 2 to 1 ratio there. However, if we switch that and we offer customer, wholesale membership, ambassador, what's the odds they're going to become an ambassador? 2 to 1. So therefore, you're growing your team more by offering a wholesale membership. Now, a couple weeks ago, Renee and I kind of did a little skit for you guys, and we went over how to word the 3 different options. But basically, you're going to lead with the business and default on the products. You shouldn't have to try to sell the products as far as
the products will sell themselves. We know that when people get on the products, they're going to love them. And regardless, we want people to be on the products either way. So what we found is if we lead with the business opportunity and we're dream building with them and we're showing them the way that they could actually put money into their pocket, they're going to be excited about that ambassador opportunity. And then, of course, you can also go down to the wholesale membership. So if you lead with the ambassador part, then go to wholesale membership. And then if they say, you know what, I'm just not interested in that at all, great. Well, I would love to have you as a customer. And this is the way that you can become a customer.
So lead with the business, default on the products. Your words that you use are huge. We are in a relationship business, so you soft words. That's Renee's favorite word. Soft words. A lot of times I'm talking to Renee and I'm explaining something, and she'll say, "No, you're not going to say that way, right?" Because when I'm talking to Renee, I'm just kind of talking, but she knows eventually that I'm going to get to the soft words with the person I'm talking to. So we need to always remember the power of our words and how harsh sometimes we can sound when we speak. So people don't know what to expect, so it's our job to educate them on their options and let them choose their own path. And our wording on that is everything. Give everyone the same opportunity to dream big and do big things in their life. So there again, you're going to lead with the business and default on the products.
And I think the reason why we want to cover this, and we're doing this in a quick way tonight. Normally the training on this is going to be a little bit more, but I want to hurry and get to Kyle tonight. But I know that a lot of people have led with the products, and they are more concerned about getting that PV to a high amount, and that's great. We're not discouraging you to build your retail business, but what we know is that a lot of people have big dreams. They have big dreams to, become an Emerald ambassador, or to be able to retire their husband from working, to be able to stay at home with their kids. If that's the type of dreams that you have, then I'm going to encourage you to build an organization. And in order to build an organization, you're going to want to give everyone the opportunity to be able to add some extra income to their pocketbook. I can tell you 2 years ago, I needed that opportunity. We were living paycheck to paycheck, and I would have been very disappointed if my sponsor had kept that opportunity from me, just thinking that I didn't have enough money and I would be lucky to be a customer. So give everyone that opportunity. Use the power of your words to dream build with them, to give them the opportunity to help them dream again, and present that opportunity to them, so that way they would probably be more likely to say, well, why wouldn't I do that? It would be pretty awesome to add some extra income.
And it's okay to go back to your current customers. You should always actually practice going back to your current customers and offering them the business opportunity, because guess what? Susie, who is your customer, her best friend Joan could join Plexus tomorrow. And then Joan starts making all this money with Plexus, and Susie says, Joan, what are you doing? And Susie says, well, you take Plexus, right? Well, don't you know about the opportunity? No, I have no idea, because my person's never told me about the opportunity. Oh, well, let me tell you about it. Well, guess what, guys? What usually happens in that type of situation is because Susie was more comfortable with Joan and you never offered her the business, she's going to go with Joan.
Yep.
And you just lost a potential ambassador that probably could be the next multi-level millionaire with Plexus.
So we wanted to just spend a little bit of time, and granted, I've been spending about 30 to 40 minutes going over all of the training with the people who are interested in doing this. So if you are either on Lindsay's team or my team and you have not had this training yet, we would love to go into more detail with you on that. Just let us know. Send us each a message, and we will get you scheduled for that with maybe 3 or 4 people on your team. We like to do it in clusters of 3 or 4 people, because then we can open up the end and have some discussion. It's really, really important that you remember. I wanted to say this about the power of words. It really is never ending. You never know when you could hurt someone's feelings and they never forget it. Because the power of your words, they can hurt, but they can also lift people up. So if you always remember that, and you're always speaking positive things to people, and they're going to remember that, and they're going to connect with you, and they're going to be interested in what you're doing.
And I just want to say real quick on that too, your words are not just words that come out of your mouth. Your words are also words that you post on Facebook, words that you post on Twitter, words that you post on any social media, because people read that. Just like, and a lot of times I know if I read something, if I know the person, I read it in their voice. So think about what you're posting before you're posting. This is where I'm going to say social media is not the place to air your dirty laundry. It kills your business. Kills it.
Yeah, so always think positive, edify people, and lift them up, and you will be amazed at just how much better you feel. Your attitude will be better, and that will result in even more business for you when we're talking about business. So all that being said, that was crunched together in a really short time, because
Kyle is going to bring it all together for you.
Kyle is going to share with you exactly what he has implemented in the past 2 weeks, I guess it is, and he's going to tell you how many ambassadors him and his wife have sponsored into the business in the last couple of weeks, and how he's done that. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to love him. Kyle Hammontree is from Lee Summit, Missouri. He's a gold ambassador on my team, and he's been with us for about a year, and just tweaking a few small things in his business over the past couple of weeks has changed the face of his business. It's going to be so exciting.
Crazy. I've loved watching him.
Can you unmute him?
Yes.
I don't know how to do it from this computer. Bear with us here. We have to find you because we have so many on the call tonight.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Okay. There he is.
So, you know what? That's okay, because there's so many people on this call because they want to change their life. when you show up to events, whether it's online, you're showing the world that you are serious about your business.
So Kyle, are you there?
I'm here. Am I there?
You are here.
Okay. Am I coming through loud and clear?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You are good.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you all very much. Thank you, Renee and Lindsay. I'm over the moon excited that I was invited to talk to the team. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around being able to talk with everybody and share my experience and Shelly's experience. Shelly's my wife. She's sitting right next to me, but she just got home from work, so I'm letting her eat dinner. Say hi, Shelly. Hi. So first, I kind of want to jump right in with.
Hey, Kyle.
Yes.
Hang on a second. Can you take it off your earpiece? And
yeah,
because I've got some people messaging me that you're hard to hear.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll start over then. Not really. I mean, I'll start at the beginning. So thank you again for inviting me. So the first thing I want to do is, we just talked about the power of words, is talk about our personal experience just with how powerful words really are. Over the last 9 months, with the focus that we had on and getting customers and focusing our business on getting customers, we more or less put 100% of our efforts on the money back guarantee. Doing that, it really set a expectation for the customer to quit at the 60-day mark. We were telling them, don't worry, you've got the guarantee, don't worry, you can stop at any time. And so the power of our words was suggesting that it's okay, you can quit. It's okay, it's probably not going to work for you. It's okay, you've got a backup plan. And the power of that was really apparent in the constant attrition of people who were using Plexus. So we were able to completely change and shift our mindset after talking with Renee a couple weeks ago, and now we're focusing on people's health. And when we focus on their health, we're setting a different and a reasonable expectation for their results with Plexus. We're focusing on being a wholesale customer. First of all, that takes the fear and the mystery out of being an ambassador, as well as the opportunity to discover those accidental rock stars that are in this business. Like we mentioned, there's an opportunity out there that if we're not sharing with people, then they don't know about it. So that's just a little bit of our experience with the power of negative words and how they can affect people. And then just a slight change in your way of thinking is going to turn that around. So you can go on to the next slide. Perfect. So I broke down into 3 phases, and this is from your very first interaction with any potential customer, whatever direction they go. We broke it down into 3 phases. So the next slide, the recommendation phase is your first touch. You're all posting on Facebook, right? Okay. So everybody's posting on Facebook, and you're being consistent with those posts and following up with those people that like, comment, or do anything with those posts. And then in addition to that, any other avenue that you're talking to people at the grocery store, at gymnastics class, at karate class, whatever, at baseball, football, you're always talking to these people and bringing up Plexus because it comes up in every conversation. It just does. So this is a very generic example of something that if somebody likes or comments on something, or they want an email or a Facebook message, this is what I send. I guess not everybody can read it, so I'll just read it. It says, "Hey Susie, I just wanted to quickly send you some info on the products I've been using over the last year to get healthy. If you have any questions or want to talk about any struggles you have reaching your goals, I'd love to chat and see if Plexus would be a good fit. Message me anytime. And then we'll be attaching the Triplex recommendation sheet that Shelly and I developed as a tool to give your potential customer a quick guided example and recommendation of what we think is the best place to start. And I'm going to talk about the wording of the message right now. In the message, we talk about their goals and their struggles. And the reason I do this is because it puts in play a deeper conversation with your customer, so that they don't just think you're trying to sell them something so that you can get money. You're actually investing in their health with your knowledge and the products that we have to share. So if you can pull up the Triplex recommendations just so people can see it. So this is just something that we made as a way to communicate our shift in thinking with the importance of health and wellness in our products.
Can you see it, Kyle?
Yes. So this is it. And this will be available to you. Hold on one second. Just got to help Shelly. Crisis averted. So basically, this top paragraph is essentially what I have memorized in my brain when I talk to somebody face to face. So they're already getting an exposure to the Triplex recommendation sheet whenever I talk to them. If I haven't talked to them or they come out of the blue and ask for information about Plexus, this is what they see. So I'm very consistent with what I say and what I share with people. So again, up there, it's basically for those of you that are on the call rather than being able to see this. It talks about how Plexus was developed, and it's a drink mix and how it helps people. Then below that is the Triplex recommendation and what's in it, and just kind of a positive spin on the fact that people who consistently take Triplex are seeing amazing results, because we all know that to be true. Then below that, there's a description of the X factor and why that's important. Then below that, there's a box with the weight loss companion products that include Accelerator, Boost, and Block, and a very, very, very short and simplified version of what those products do for you. If somebody has bigger questions, there are other resources out there for those answers, but this really brings it down to the simple, because we're not trying to necessarily draw attention to these either. They're a great tool and a great resource for those goals that need to be addressed, but we want to focus on the health first. And then below that, we added, why do I need ProBio 5? Because not everybody is well versed on Candida yeast overgrowth. It's not commonly spoken about. So we added this in. And then below that is a description of BioCleanse, because I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'd say 75 to 80% of the people that I talk about Triplex with, and I tell them that there's a BioCleanse, they tilt your head sideways and they kind of get cross-eyed and they're like, I don't need a cleanse. I don't want to cleanse. I've heard bad things about cleanses. And so that's why this is part of that, because it's not a cleanse in the traditional horrible clean out sense, as we all know, as ambassadors, but this communicates that to them, that it helps detoxify your body and it helps energize your body and eliminate toxins. It's not about cleaning yourself out in the traditional sense. So that's that Triplex sheet. Obviously, a great tool I found to use. So we've sent the message, a personalized message, addressing their goals and struggles, and we've attached the Triplex. That's it. Now, you're going to have some sort of dialogue with this person. Eventually, it always comes down to how much is it? So this is the decision phase. This is where we're going to use our new and improved play-by-play and send them a very short message that says, I'm so excited for you to get started. Because at this point, they're asking how much. I'm ready to get started. How much is it? There's 3 options. Take a look and let me know which one's going to be the best fit for you. And so you've got, again, we've already talked about these, but the customer option. And these are all specific to the triplex, because again, we've given them the triplex recommendation. So we're being consistent, not all over the place with all of our products. So you've got the customer option, which talks about preferred and retail, and then the wholesale member option, which gives the pricing for a 30-day supply, plus the fact that you'll get it for wholesale, and then the ambassador option, which at the bottom is where it really differentiates from wholesale and ambassador. It talks about this is the best option if you're willing to, or wanting to make $250 to $300 a month. And the reason that that was selected as a price point for your compensation monthly is because we want to under promise and over deliver. So these people who are interested in making $250, $300 a month, and then their first check ends up being $400 or $500 because they went fast start, or they went silver, or they went fast start gold, and they get a $1,000 check in their first month. I mean, talk about mind blowing. So under promise, over deliver. Set your people up for success rather than disappointment. So next. Oh, and just, you don't have to go back, but on that, the play-by-play, those 3 options, despite the fact that they're very, well written and clearly defined, people are going to have a lot of questions at that point. Like, well, what if? So don't expect people to just be like, oh yeah, I'll sign up, sounds great, and then be done. Because I mean, that'd be great. That happens 1 out of 10 times, but there's going to be another dialogue in there when they get that play-by-play. So at this point, they've chosen one of those options. So the first option was the preferred customer option, because we would never recommend retail, right? So as a preferred customer, you say, yay, I'm excited for you to get started on your journey to better health. I'll be checking in with you to make sure you receive your order and answer any questions that you have before you get started. But in the meantime, you have 2 items of homework. Number 1, measure and weigh yourself. And number 2, read the attached tips for success file. And then here comes the tips for success file. So these, again, if you're not a member of Plexus Power Tools, great resource. This is taken from there and then cleaned up and polished a little bit. Some of the fluff is taken out. So this really just helps. This is a great resource to send to your people that are getting started, whether they're preferred customer, ambassador, or wholesale customer. And it goes through each product, and it tells you how to start and test your tolerance to accelerator and boost. It talks about drinking plenty of water. It talks about measuring. It talks about tapering on to the ProBio 5. It talks about taking the boost or the BioCleanse. It basically talks about all the products. Obviously not something that I need to read to everybody, but it's definitely a great resource for you to use. And then one point that I really want to make is no matter which level they choose, preferred customer, wholesale customer, ambassador, we need to be excited and supportive of their choice, because you've done your job leading up to this point to educate and inform them about what their options are. Now they've made a decision, and you need to be excited about that decision. And then if it's preferred customer, you're going to be following up with them. And then if they transition into a different role, great. If not, you're going to continue to support that person. But I would discourage you from saying, oh, are you sure? Do you really want to do that? You could really get it for cheaper. Because that just, again, your words are powerful. They've come to you and kind of poured their heart out about their health. And so at this point, you really need to lift them up and support them and build them up. So next option on the next slide is the wholesale customer option. So at this point, you've given them all the information. They've decided they want to get the discount. This whole page is what I send to people in a message or email form. And I preface it by saying, hey, the next message that I'm going to send you is long. So don't freak out, but it's step-by-step instructions on how to sign up, make the choices that you need to make, and be on your road to being a wholesale customer. So I've gotten some feedback that if I don't say that before I send this, then people are like, whoa, way too much. And they get kind of like shock value. So definitely preface sending this, and you can tailor it and shorten it. I've seen shorter versions. I just like to have everybody have all the information that they need while they're signing up so that they don't get stuck in the middle and they're doing it after the kids went to bed and you're getting text messages at 10 o'clock at night saying, oh my gosh, I'm stuck on this page. What's an auto qualification? So you've had these conversations, but now they've got step-by-step right in front of them. And at this point now, we're adding them to the team page and we're welcoming them to the team. We're also adding them to the testimonials pages because this allows a person who is a wholesale customer to instantly plug in to the excitement and the emotional connection that our team has, along with getting access to hundreds and thousands of testimonials that they otherwise wouldn't have access to other than by stalking your Facebook page. So that is the wholesale customer option. Then on the next page, essentially the same thing if they decide to be an ambassador, only your message is tweaked a little when they join your team. So you say, welcome to the family. I'm so excited for you to start your journey. I've attached a file below that's going to outline the next few days of your Plexus journey and get your business rocking and rolling, even before you have your products delivered to the mailbox. And the reason I say it like that is because we're setting them up for success before they've even tried the products or before they've even gotten started and they have their own success story. And that's huge. It's a huge transition from where we used to be, where we'd say, okay, well, you got your welcome pack. Now you have a whole month before you even have to think about ordering. And then you'll have 28 days because your order really doesn't have to come out till the end of the month. So you don't really have to do anything until for 2 months basically, and that sets people up for, again, that negative response. They're like, oh, well, I just don't have to tell anybody about this, and I can be a closet Plexus user. So again, we're setting them up for initial success, and then we talk about reading it over, writing down questions, taking a look at the calendar, and shooting a few dates in the next week that you can get together to have a one-on-one meeting and go over a few details about getting the business off the ground. And then I also attach the Tips for Success document, again, because they're a new Plexus user and it's going to be in their best interest to be the most successful with their products as well. So this is the new ambassador now what file. And again, mine has been altered a little bit from maybe what's floating around currently. But basically this breaks it down day by day from day one when the new ambassador signs up. So we're guiding them first through creating a list of 100 people. We've all found how important that is, not to prejudge that list and just make that list. Pick the top 20 that could benefit in their health, wealth, or weight loss. Then call or message those people. And this is a scripted version of a conversation that you can have. Again, vary it based on who you're talking to and your relationship with them. But the gist of the conversation needs to be, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do know somebody that does. They'd offered to make a 3-way call with us so that I could learn more about the products and you could listen to them and find out what I'm so excited about. and then they schedule that call. Again, it can be a 3-way call, it can be a face-to-face, whatever you're most comfortable with. And then we put this little did you know in here as a motivational tool, because it's true. Most ambassadors get 2 preferred customers and 3 ambassadors in their first 7 to 10 days. If they make the list of 100, if they make those 20 phone calls, and if they set those appointments with their sponsor so that they can have those tools ready for them to talk to people. And then on their very first day, posting your first Facebook post. And at the bottom of the page, there is some examples. And I know that Renee and Lindsay have some other great examples that they're coming up with. But basically, again, it doesn't, the posts don't assume that you know anything about prices. It's talking about your excitement and the opportunity that you have. Again, this kind of goes back to the play-by-play. Follow up with any inquiries from that post, the likes, the comments, and anybody else. You're going to send them that personalized message and the triplex recommendation document. And then, again, another tip, I suggest creating an Excel file spreadsheet to track your inquiries. Because if you don't know who you're following up with and you miss somebody, they're going to find it somewhere else if they're truly interested. So create that list and create some sort of follow-up system so that you can keep on track with that. You've been added to the team at this point, so add some Facebook friends. As an ambassador, you're suggesting Facebook friends, and you're now plugged into the dream team, which is amazing. So now we recommend ordering business cards. Business cards seem like an archaic thing, but they truly validate your business. They give you credibility in the community. They give you a tool. So if you're not able to carry, I don't carry a purse. I know it's strange, but I don't. So I have business cards in my wallet. So if I start a conversation with somebody at Target, I can't pull out, a sample and a flyer or a sample and a brochure from my purse. But I sure as heck can pull out a business card and hand it to them and get their contact information. And it validates me as a business owner. So definitely get business cards. And plexusprint.com is, of course, a place to get those. And then I suggest on day one, they're watching the product overview video and familiarizing themselves with all of our products. Then as we move on throughout the next 4 days, again, it's encouraging. There's learning processes in there, and then there's Facebook communication processes on each day that follows this day. So yeah, you're posting on Facebook, and you're doing some more learning, some more training, watching the videos, posting on Facebook, and kind of establishing a habit. Here it talks about Hootsuite. If you're not using Hootsuite for your business, you're kind of just wasting time. So definitely look into that. If you have questions about that, I have a tutorial that can help people with setting up their Hootsuite to work for you. At this point, you're posting on 2 times a day, and that's going to be something that you continue to do. This link is to a Google Drive file that I've created that has all of those documents that you've seen tonight in them. And they're continually updated. So if you click on this, it takes you to the drive. The drive has different folders in it that have different resources. At this point, you've scheduled your training with your ambassador sponsor and scheduling your tasting party or your launch party, however you want to call it. But definitely a huge team building and business building opportunity to jumpstart your business is to have that tasting party. And then again, reading the success guide, a very underutilized tool for our business is that success guide. So definitely take a look at And then these are some of the posts, the optional posts on Facebook for those first few days. Just talks about being an excited ambassador, investing in my health and wellness and reaching my goals. Anybody who's interested in joining me, message me. Okay, so it doesn't have a whole lot to do with the products. It has more to do with your personal journey. So that kind of wraps up the new ambassador now what. But basically, it's a day-by-day, step-by-step process for new ambassadors to get started. One kind of final message that I want you to take home with you is consistency. When you're posting on Facebook, what I've begun to start telling people, your Facebook posts, it's more like a billboard on the side of the highway. And it's on your route to a place you go every day. So you drive by that same billboard every day and you see that billboard for Plexus. You may not call the number on the billboard the first 50 times you drive past it, but you're seeing it every day, and eventually something is going to touch a nerve and you're going to call that number. So when you're seeing the billboard, we want a consistent message on that billboard. We want the message to be about health, and we want it to be consistent. And then we want your consistent posting. We want you to be consistent with the frequency of your posting, whether it's daily or twice a day, 3 times a day, whatever you choose, but be consistent. And then consistently following up with those inquiries. Hugely important. So definitely do that, and it will definitely take your business to a whole new level.
Thank you, Kyle. So when you started implementing this, how many level 1s have you sponsored?
8.
8, and that's been in the last couple of weeks, pretty much?
Yeah. So we started implementing this after the call, which was after Super Saturday. So that was on like the 15th or 16th of January.
Right.
And we were able to sponsor 8 people in the last 2 weeks of January, and then already 4 this month.
4 this month, and it's the 3rd day of the month.
The 3rd of February.
That's awesome. And you mentioned to me earlier when we were speaking, you said, now usually whenever I'm face-to-face with someone, or depending on how the conversation goes, I don't even offer the customer option.
Right.
Because they can tell from your excitement that the business opportunity is amazing.
Right. Yeah. And the way that we're approaching people, we're so excited about it that it doesn't even come up. Like the opportunity just presents itself. And so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's so funny, because tonight, that's pretty much, we had a meeting tonight, and that's what we talked about, is how, our products, we don't have to defend our products. We don't even really have to sell our products. They will sell themselves if we can get people on them. And really, if you think about how, regardless if people are an ambassador or if they're a customer, they're going to be on the products either way. So why not be an ambassador and make some extra money, right? And then if they say, absolutely not, I'm not into that sort of thing, but the product sounds pretty cool. Well, great. I'd love to have you as a customer. So that's kind of where we're going with this. I hope that everyone on the call took away a lot of great information from Kyle. We will post these 3 specific files in our team groups. And then he, of course, gave the information for his Google Drive, which is awesome. So you got lots of great documents that you can start using for your business tonight.
We're excited that each one of you took the step to get on this call, to get on this conference call, to take your business to the next level. We are here to help you implement these things. So if you have questions, please ask. I'm sure Kyle won't want all of y'all blowing up his messages. So we'll kind of try to get, if you have questions, we'll try to get a list together and send it to Kyle, and then have those answered, and then post it so that you guys have all those answers in front of you.
So thank you again so much, Kyle. I will tell everyone on this call, I expect huge things from him and Shelly. I have to watch out, Kyle. You're going to laugh, because when I talk about you guys, you and Shelly, I have to catch myself, because I say, it's funny, I say Shal, or what do I say? Shal and
Kelly.
Kelly and Shal. For some reason.
Always feeling shy.
You're not the only one.
I
We're
like
shy.
Yeah. We've accepted the Shile designation a long time ago.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It
I'm glad
works.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Well, thank
All
you
right.
all for tuning in tonight, and we will go ahead and end it. And we did record, so we should have a recording posted by tomorrow.
I'm going to unmute so that everybody can say good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.